I'm here with Chip Reichhard of Sandler Training and a board member of the Morris County Chamber of Commerce who's done many programs for us to help our members grow their business. Chip, welcome. Thank you for stopping by today.
Angela, my pleasure.
It's great to have you here. Chip has run a program for us in the past called Crafting Your Introduction. Chip, how important is it for our members to actually invest time in creating the best introduction possible when they're going out there and networking with fellow members?
Well, first I would say you have one shot at a first impression, right? And if you blow that first impression, that's going to carry forward with you, and especially going to something like our business connections or any of the networking opportunities that the chamber offers. The more prepared you are when you go to that, the better you're going to come across, the better image you'll have with the people, and that's going to carry forward with you.
I found out that people are just winging it. They think that they know what they do so well because they're so good at what they do. They show up and they kind of like just show up and what Sandler calls throw up what they do. But if they actually were to invest time in figuring out how to articulate it, what are some of the tips that you can give our members how to do that?
Well, number one, it's preparation. So preparation is really putting together a concise, speech, if you will, and especially for a 2-minute table talk. The 2-minute table talk is timed. I mean, you have exactly 2 minutes. So here's what happens when someone wings it. One, they fall short. I see every single month people that get through a minute and 20 seconds and they've run out of things to talk about, which amazes me. And the other extreme is they get cut off mid-sentence and they haven't even gotten their main points across. They've rambled on. So those are two extremes that I see happen.
So you talk a little bit about members needing to be compelling and memorable. Tell me a little bit more how they can do that.
Well, there's a number of things. One, I believe the preparation, so you come across with concise statements that have been well thought out. So the words is a piece of it, but the words aren't everything, right? You can have the greatest words, but the other thing I see where people did prepare is they're reading their script. And when they're reading their script, it's affecting their eye contact with the group, which makes it less memorable, or it may be memorable in a bad way. Number two, they don't have a lot of inflection. They're kind of monotone. So it's really the words are key, but I think the delivery is equally important to the words. And when I say delivery, your tonality, the body language, the eye contact, and other things that people can do. I really believe that stories draw people in. So I could speak all kinds of facts and figures, but to have a compelling story, real story, about a client that you had helped, what situation they were in and how you helped them, I believe is a greater way to get your story across.
I think that is the most important way to share your introductions with people at the table. Now, what are some of the words that you encourage your clients to use? I mean, I'm a Sandler trained professional. I was in your class for many years, and you used to teach us to use words like, if you know someone who is frustrated in their business or they're not getting the results, tell our members how they can leverage these types of powerful adjectives and why they matter so much.
Yes, and even let me take a step back. So the words are critical, right? So there are words that are emotional trigger words that may draw people in. And some of those words are like frustrated, upset, disappointed, afraid, annoyed about their current situation. And Sandler, as you know, we call that step in the process, even in a 2-minute table talk, what are the pains, what are the challenges that a potential client may have that you uniquely solve? So most people talk about their solutions, but to talk a little bit about the kinds of issues, and it could be a story about someone that came to them with an issue and how you uniquely solved it. So starting off, having a framework, I think helps, right? So starting with your name and your company, that's logical. Moving to a story or a description of the challenges that someone may have is a great way to draw people in. And then talking concisely about how you've helped them. And then ending with a good client for me would be someone who has been in a situation like I described, and that could be, a president owner of a small company based in the Morris County area, or North Jersey, or depending on what your market is. And if you know someone like that, that would be a great opportunity for me to engage with them and then repeat your name and company at the end. And if you can have that come right in at the 2-minute mark, you look like a pro.
Yeah. No matter who you are, what your position is, or what you are doing for a living, crafting your introduction is step one in making sure that you have an outstanding strategy to grow your business. So practice it on your friends, practice it on your colleagues, or get some feedback from your clients, but hone it in a way that it will be compelling and memorable. Chip Reichhard, Sandler Training, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Angela. I appreciate
you
it.
helping our members with
Yep.
this important education, and we'll see you next time.
Very
Thanks for
good.
listening. Want to do one more time? Or are you happy?